This is He Knows His Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. All right, I want to talk about two nuts that what I call them as superfoods. These are two nuts that I incorporated to my diet, and two nuts that are essential, and two nuts that I believe that you should incorporate in your diet. Test it out and see if it works for you. Because if you recall, I told you you want to eat a well balanced, nutrient dense diet. And I started to tell you guys, I'm going to start introducing to you guys what that looks like for me. And you can test it out and see if it works for you. You know, eat it, see how it, goes with your body, and see if it, brings benefit to your body or it brings a side effect to your body. You'll know. Because here's the thing that I always tell you about eating healthy and eating superfoods. When you eat foods, when you know that they're working properly, they give a synergistic effect. What do I mean when I say that? When you eat foods properly and you eat them and they're beneficial for you, they make you feel good. And I'm not talking about that feel good that you eat when you eat highly processed, crappy foods that just make you feel good in the short term, but in the long term has detrimental effects to your health. We're not talking about comfort food. We're talking about superfoods that you eat that give you energy. That's what I mean when I say synergistic effect. They give you that engine, that fuel, because your body's kind of like a vehicle, man. You want it to be running and clicking on all cylinders. There's many facets to the body that the body needs in terms of minerals, vitamins, nutrients, proteins, complex carbs, things of that nature, et cetera, and the list goes on that it needs in order for it to function in a synergistic way, meaning function in a fluid way, function in a way to where when it's functioning at its maximum proficiency and it's giving you the best results and the best performance on all levels. Try these nuts out and see if it does that to you. It does it for me, and it's beneficial for me. But here are the two nuts: Brazil nuts and macadamia nuts. The reasons why I add these two nuts to my diet and I incorporate it is because of the fact that they are superfoods. Remember, I always tell you that when you eat something, you want to eat something that has that high nutrient density. Me, I'm all about nutritional density, eating foods that not only help you from a health standpoint, but they keep you full, man, so that you don't overeat. Remember what I told you guys, less is best. So in order to incorporate a less is best mindset, you want to eat foods that are nutritionally dense, because when it has that nutritional density or that nutritional value, then it fills you up, it satisfies you. Not fills you up to the point where you're bloated, but fills you up to a point of satiety, a point of where you're satisfied. That's how you're supposed to eat. You're supposed to eat to be satisfied, not eat to the point where you can't walk and then you get the itis. Anyone who doesn't know what the itis is, that's basically you eat so much to the point where you become sleepy after the fact. There's studies that prove that when you eat that way, there's a reason why you become sleepy and why you trigger those types of effects, on those hormones in your brain that cause you to want to go to sleep. That's what happens when you overeat or you eat highly processed foods or you eat foods that are not beneficial to you. Because when you're eating the right foods, they're supposed to provide fuel to your body. They're supposed to provide energy. Hence, it's supposed to make your body continue to churn, especially when you're eating it during the day. The reason why I like Brazil nuts is because Brazil nuts are filled with flavonoids. Flavonoids is a phytochemical or phytonutrient which helps fight against cancers. It helps fight against diseases. It has that antioxidant activity that's beneficial to the body. Plus, Brazil nuts is a complete nut because it has minerals, it has nutrients, it has vitamins, and it has proteins and complex carbs. I mean, you can't ask for too much if a nut is able to fulfill all those requirements. Not all nuts are created alike. And the reason why I prescribe to Brazil nuts and macadamia nuts is because they're the two best nuts on the planet. That's according to my research and according to what I have understood based on me taking the time out to research it. Again, research it for yourself. You'll see what I'm talking about. If this is something you want to incorporate in your diet, by all means, try it out. But for me, it's been beneficial because I use Brazil nuts for three things. I use it as a natural testosterone booster because it aids in that regard. I use it for my vitality because Brazil nuts has selenium in it. And if anyone knows, selenium is that mineral that's basically part, that mineral that aids your life force, your life vitality. Selenium is good because it's cardioprotective. Selenium is good because it fights against free radicals. Because remember, every time we wake up, every time we're breathing out there in the air and we're breathing, oxygen and stuff like that, harmful oxygen free radicals come into our body. They try to ravish our DNA and they try to do damage to our DNA. So you want to constantly eat foods that have high levels of antioxidant activity. Brazil nuts has vitamin E in it. Vitamin E has high levels of antioxidants in it. Beneficial for that regard, you know. And the other thing with Brazil nuts, it has vitamin A in it. Vitamin A is crucial for your eye health. It keeps your eyes functioning the way it should. It keeps your eyes healthy because, obviously the same way we want to, help our body, we got to think of everything that belongs to our body. Our eye is crucial because it allows us to give us the ability to have vision, to see things. I mean, that's a crucial, organ. That's a crucial part of our body that we want to make sure we take care of. You know, Brazil nuts also is beneficial in regards to it having a high fiber base. Hence, it allows you to use the restroom, you know, properly, and it allows you to use the restroom efficiently. It allows you to create a bowel movement, a constant bowel movement, which is good. You want to eat foods that are high in fiber because you want to be able to make sure that your colon is not doing too much work. Because the thing is, yeah, a lot of times people, undermine or they underestimate this organ called the colon. But the colon works, in a very important role. It helps with basically taking out, the excess waste that your body doesn't need. But here's the thing: if you're taxing it and you're putting too much stress on it, or you're eating the garbage foods that your colon doesn't need, then what ends up happening is your colon betrays you, man. Hence, you end up having colon cancer when it's all said and done. Who wants that? And eventually, all of us reach that inevitable age of 40 years old. For those of us that make it that far, where we have to get the colonoscopy. Yes, at 40 years old, that's when you start getting your colonoscopies, your regular colonoscopies. And colonoscopy is important because it shows, if there's any issues, it shows basically if there's any issues, with you, having digestive issues, you basically having problems where, ultimately, because of the years of either eating the right way or the wrong way, it may have contributed to you having cancer, or it may contribute to you not having any issues at all. So the colon is a organ that you don't want to overlook, and you want to make sure that you're eating foods that are highly, nutrient dense and that have high fiber base to them because it basically helps your colon to not put stress on itself and to regulate itself and for it to not do more work than it has to do when you're digesting food and your food is going through the digestive phase. So that's highly important. Brazil nuts helps in that regard. Brazil nuts is also beneficial to your immune system. It helps boost your immune system. This is why I like having these nuts. Now, I know folks are wondering, I mentioned that it's a testosterone boosting food. Yes. See, me, I'm not about taking these supplements, that's supposed to help boost your testosterone. These things are garbage, man. These things, they do damage to your body. And me, I'm not all about that. I am the definition of what they call a true natural health person. So in all essence, I want stuff that comes from nature. Brazil nuts come from nature. It's a nut. So what is beneficial about Brazil nuts that helps boost his testosterone? Let me explain. Brazil nuts has small traces of magnesium and zinc. If you know, magnesium and zinc are two minerals that are crucial for testosterone boosting production. Hence, if you incorporate Brazil nuts into your diet, you will boost your testosterone. You will keep your testosterone functioning at a high level. For males, that is the holy grain of your body, your testosterone. Because in your testosterone is your will, your drive, your ability to do things, your ability to be alpha male as opposed to beta male, your ability to produce and grow muscle, your ability to perform at a maximum proficiency. Brazil nuts help in that regard. So this is why I incorporate it into my diet from a testosterone boosting standpoint. I love it. Plus, Brazil nuts, they taste good. You don't really have to do anything to them. And with Brazil nuts, what you want to make sure is that they are organic Brazil nuts. You want to make sure that they are gluten free. You want to make sure that they're not processed. That's the key. And you look for those Brazil nuts that you buy to have those labels in there. You know the labels, the ones that say kosher free on it, the ones that say organic, USDA organic, the ones that say, that it is, vegan. You want to see that stuff, kosher. These things are important. These labels are important because it means that the company took time out to not have this product or this nut go through a processed process in order for you to eat it that way. They took the time out and they didn't take the shortcuts. They did, the right things to make sure that you're getting it at its most natural state. It's a natural nut, it comes from nature. So you want to make sure that you're eating it at its most natural form. Yeah, it costs us a little bit more, but here's the thing. Your health is your wealth. I see girls out there spending $300 on their hair, you know what I'm saying? And, spending $100 on their nails, guys going out there, spending all this money on Jordans and stuff like that. If you can do that, then you could put a few more dollars into your health, man. What is it? Yeah, people are going to sit there and say, Brazil nuts are expensive. But what is a few more dollars in putting something into your body that has vitamin E in it, which is that serves as an antioxidant? What is it that you can't eat a superfood that's going to be beneficial to your health, that's going to keep you on this planet a little longer? You know what I'm saying? That's going to aid in your longevity. I don't see, what's so hard in spending a little bit more to, extend your health and to be able to live a long and prosperous life. No excuses here, and that's just the reality of it. But to me, this is why I prescribe to Brazil nuts, because I've seen the benefits that it's done to me, from a bodybuilding standpoint, and from a health standpoint, and for an overall, muscle building standpoint. It's something to add to your diet, and it has benefits. Don't take my word for it. Try it out yourself, because you know me, that's how I am. I never tell you to do something because I'm telling you to do it. I don't believe in a cookie cutter approach. You got to do what works for you from a health standpoint. And if the Brazil nuts from your research, and I mean, when I say research, I mean you do your thorough research, is beneficial to you and it's something you want to add to your diet, then go ahead and do it. But I'm telling you right now, based on my research and what I know about it, Brazil nuts is something that I would tell in general for folks to add to their diet. And to me, if you're going to eat nuts, you might as well eat the best. That's what I believe. You're going to eat anything, you're going to do anything, go for the best, man. Do it at the highest and the best level. Brazil nuts along with macadamia nuts are the best nuts on the planet. They're the two best nuts because of the fact that they have all of the minerals, all of the vitamins, and all of the nutrients. Now, let me talk about macadamia nuts. Macadamia nuts are also a crucial nut to have. The reason why it's crucial is because macadamia nuts are packed with minerals, it's packed with vitamins, and it's packed with nutrients, just like the Brazil nuts. What macadamia nut does too is it also contributes to healthy blood lipid. The reason why healthy blood lipids are important is because you got to understand, you want to keep your lipids in your body at a healthy level. If your blood lipids are too high, then it can contribute to high blood pressure, which that can be an indicator that can ultimately contribute to coronary artery disease, and which could ultimately contribute to a heart attack, which is a myocardial infarction, or a stroke, which is a atrial fibrillation. You don't want that, man. You don't want those kind of problems. So again, it's all about eating the right types of foods and eating the right type of superfood to put into your body in order for your body to be able to what? Perform at its maximum proficiency. What I also like about Brazil nuts is Brazil nuts aid against, coronary artery disease and strokes. Why? Because it contains vitamin E. Vitamin E is an antioxidant vitamin. It's a crucial vitamin that our body needs. It is a body that helps our cells to regenerate. See, the way cells work in the body is they have to constantly be dividing. You know why you want them to constantly do that? Because with division, they grow. That means they multiply. You want your cells to be constantly moving and constantly working, because when they're doing that, not only are they helping your immune system to stay proficient, they are also working to fight and work out against those diseases and those cancers that are trying to come in and try to lurk. These bacteria, these germs, these viruses. Your body is smart. I've said this before. It's highly intelligent. Your body, to be in all essence, is way smarter than you because it knows what it needs to do. But the thing is, you need to fuel it the right way in order for it to continue to do what it needs to do. I'm going to say that again. You need to fuel your body the right way for it to continue to do what it needs to do. Macadamia nuts is good because just like Brazil nuts, the reason why I like these nuts is they help slow the aging process down to a crawl because of the fact that these nuts have so much good in them. Macadamia nuts, what I also like about it is it's a very tasty nut, just like the Brazil nut. You can't go wrong eating these nuts. And I would highly recommend that you follow the dosage of these nuts according to the amount that you're supposed to have every day. With all nuts, you don't want to go past more than 1 ounce of a nut per day. What does 1 ounce look like for Brazil nuts? That means anywhere between 6 to 8 kernels. Me, I do everything at the maximum level. That's just me. It may not work for you that way. You got to go what works for you. Me, I eat 8 Brazil nuts a day. And the way that I do it is I split it. I probably do like 4, early on in the day and then 4 in the evening, or I'll do 5 and 3, or I'll do 6 and 2, or 7 and 1. It all depends on how I'm feeling that day. It all depends on what type of workout I'm going to do that day. Like if I know it's going to be a leg day, then I'm probably going to eat more on the top end. When my body is the engine and is fueling and is churning, probably going to eat more on the top end, and then just eat less at the back end. That's just the way I do it on a leg day. And then when it's a upper body day, I balance it out. I probably do like 4-4 split. You don't have to do it that way. However you want to do it. If you just want to eat 8, and be done with it, that's on you. You choose. Or if you want to eat 6, that's on you. But again, you don't want to eat anywhere between 6 to 8 Brazil nuts per day. And the reason being is because, like I've told you before, there's nothing on this planet, even if it's a superfood, that does not have side effects. Here's the side effects of Brazil nuts when you eat more than the amount that you're supposed to. You end up having brittle hair and brittle nails, meaning your hair can fall out because of the toxicity of selenium. You got to remember, Brazil nuts is high. It's the highest source of selenium, on the planet. Tuna being number 2. But the thing is, you don't want to, toxify your body with too much selenium because it can cause nervous disorders. It can cause irritable bowel syndrome, and it can cause, high blood pressure, and it could cause, these types of issues, diabetes. You don't want that. That's why everything you eat, you want to eat in a moderation. The thing with Brazil nuts is it has saturated fats in them. And if you overeat them, it can lead to obesity. It can lead you to having an expanded waistline, and it can also ultimately leading you to have high blood pressure because of the saturated fats. Remember, you're not supposed to eat no more than 20 grams of saturated fats daily. That is the maximum amount of saturated fats you're supposed to eat in a day. So when you eat Brazil nuts, you want to eat no more than 6 to 8. Macadamia nuts, you don't want to eat no more than 10 to 12 kernels daily. Anything more than that is going to have a lot of those same similar side effects as Brazil nuts. Reason being is because macadamia nuts has a considerable amount of saturated fats in it, and macadamia nuts have a lot of fat. Remember, nuts have a lot of fat in them. And this is why it's important to follow, and I've always said this, food servings, to always follow, and count your macros. It's always important to ensure that you're not overeating. Less is best. Macadamia nuts, what I also like about them is macadamia nuts, they're refreshing to the body, man. Macadamia nuts, the Amazonian and the Native Americans from the South American areas ate macadamia nuts, and the reason why they ate them consistently and regularly is because they used it as a form to help them when they were sick. They used it as a form to keep them having longevity. Hence, if you go look at their life expectancy, for them having regular consumption of macadamia nuts, these people have lived long time, man. They've lived long, prosperous years. And the reason being is because they understood the benefits of macadamia nuts. They understood that macadamia nut had the vitamin E in it. They understood that the macadamia nut had all of those nutrients, those vitamins and minerals that they needed in order for them to function. So what am I saying? Am I telling you guys to pick up these nuts and start eating them? No, I'm not telling you to do that. What I'm telling you is to give it a try, and before you give it a try, do your research. See, this is what I'm gonna always tell you. Before I give you something, I'm gonna always tell you to go out there and research it for yourself and see if it makes sense for yourself. And then when you do try it, go by an amount that you feel is gonna be comfortable for your body. Because guess what? No two bodies are alike. Me, I do it at the maximum. I eat 8 Brazil nuts. I eat 12 macadamia nuts. That's what I need to fuel my body. That's what I need to fuel my muscles. But that may not be what you need. You see what I'm saying? Your serving and your amount may be a lot less. You need to figure that out for yourself. So, I'm going to come out with more videos talking more in detail about these nuts and why I feel that these nuts are beneficial for your health. But at the end of the day, like I said, and I'll say it again, do the research for yourself. Before you try it, check to see if it's something that you want to prescribe to and add to your diet. But I add these 2 nuts to my diets because to me, they are superfoods and they are nutrient dense. And anytime I eat something, I want to eat something that's going to help me to stay satisfied and it's going to be beneficial to my health. This is Henosis Sport, checking out.